For 6 years.
It's a historic event.
But they are determined to be among the first to see the latest of the Star Wars films, and as Susan Tick reports, Jedi first to see the latest. Determined to be among the first to see the latest of the Star Wars films. Of free cheese, but they are determined to be among the first to see the latest of the Star Wars films, and as Susan Tick reports, Jedi fever has taken the city by storm.
No, I didn't think anybody was stupid enough to get up early enough to come here for a show. I found out I was wrong.
Gary, what do you mean you're going? Gary, where are you? I saw the first one 14 times. I saw the second one 9 times. And I took the day off purposely to come see this.
This line and others like it are perhaps the ultimate display of the strength of the Force. Thousands of New Yorkers took the day off, some obviously calling in sick because they couldn't wait any longer to see the return of the Jedi and find out the fate of Luke Skywalker and his friends.
It's a classic. We're waiting for 6 years.
It's a historic event.
Supposed to be in school, he's cutting out, so am I.
The line at Lowe's 34th Street actually began forming last night with a half dozen people camping out.
This ain't California. We don't got weather like that to be sleeping out here. But if they want to see it, I guess you do what you want to do.
People doing what they have to do have filled every seat in Manhattan all day, and it's been the same around the country. There have been sellouts in Boston, long lines in Philadelphia and in Portland, in front of 950 theaters nationwide. Fans of all ages waiting to see the third and glitziest part of the Star Wars saga. With all its special effects, it cost George Lucas almost $33 million to produce Jedi. That compares to $10 million for Star Wars and $25 million for The Empire Strikes Back. But when you consider that Star Wars has hauled in $524 million so far, and Empire another $365 million, it becomes clear that above all, the Force is with George Lucas. Everybody involved in Jedi that we have talked to tonight is just this side of jumping for joy. Thanks in part to the huge number of theaters where it's showing, Jedi's distributor is now predicting it will rack up the biggest first week sales ever. The bottom line on this one, if you're planning to go see the movie anytime soon, be sure you wear comfortable shoes. It's going to be a long wait. Pat?
Say are out to fight the street people, those who are causing a lot of trouble anyway. And an order of knights out to fight the evils of space has cleared Times Square of some of the street people. The people are fans who have been jousting for days to see a movie. The knights are Jedi, the Star Wars type, and the movie is Return of the Jedi, Part 3 of the Star Wars trilogy. It finally opened to the public today. The film cost more than $32 million to make. The producers hope to get it all back along with the profits, big profits rather. In the past, the Star Wars movies have performed satisfactorily in that sense.
Well, if it's a hit, it'll make money at the box office, and it'll make money elsewhere as well, in the sale of gadgets associated with the Jedi. And that story we hear now from Josh Howell.
You're looking at the busiest aisle at the Toys R Us store in Paramus. Children are shopping eagerly for toys based on a movie they have not seen.
I have the book and every guy's in here. I like the monsters the best. I really don't know that much about Star Wars, but I like it.
Tell me how well Star Wars toys in general sell.
Oh, they've done very well. I think they first came out in 1978, and the demand was incredible at that time.
Return of the Jedi sheets sell for $15.97. The Millennium Falcon spaceship sells for $34.97. The Jedi characters, the figures, sell for $2.68.
Some of the toys are action toys. If your child gets one, you may have to take it away with force.
Don't move.
I beg your pardon?
Don't move.
Don't move. You're going to hit me with the...
I cut your hand off.
Children are buying the toys, of course, but so are older investors. They're buying Star Wars toys.
Right. In a couple of years, they'll be worth a lot of dough, like a lot of other things.
You're buying them strictly as an investment?
Yes, definitely.
The movie opened today. The toys have been on sale all week. Josh Howell, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, Paramus.
A bird? Is it a plane? Nope, it's a Star Wars sequel.
For most Star Wars enthusiasts, the waiting ends tomorrow when Return of the Jedi opens. Here on Earth, near Hollywood and Vine in Hollywood, die-hard fans have been in line for 6 days.
The Force, it has to be out here. You can't leave because the Force. Added to Star Wars.
To be in line for the last one is kind of a historical thing.
In Hollywood, even waiting in line can be an adventure.
Bums and derelicts mainly. People coming by and washing down the streets in the middle of the night. We had somebody come by and pull a knife on us.
In New York, at a special preview screening, there were mixed reactions.
I liked it a lot.
I think it was fantastic.
I thought it was boring, stupid, mechanical. I hated it. It's a tremendous movie. Great. It is a wild ride.
You recommend the third row?
R2, where are you? Well, the ending was kind of corny, but it really ended up kind of like people thought it would.
Well, Leonard Maltin will give us his thoughts about all this later in the program.
Star Wars fans have been waiting for. The Force is with us again. Return of the Jedi has opened here in New York. It's playing at the Low Astor Plaza Theater, among other places. And that's where Ed Miller is standing by live with all the people who are waiting to go into the 5:20 show. Ed, how is it?
Ernie, they started selling tickets here at the Low Astor Plaza at 8:30 this morning, and even at that early hour, the line was 5 football fields long. That's 5 across. If they would have been single file, they would have been standing all the way to New Jersey. The very first person in line was a teenage boy. He started standing Sunday at midnight, and the theater felt sorry for him, so they let him in for free. But the rest of these people are shelling out cash like it's going out of style.
Transmission commencing.
Return of the Jedi. $32.5 million worth of intergalactic special effects. It is the finale in the Star Wars trilogy. Everyone's heard about it, and almost everyone is hot to see it.
I love these movies. They're great. I just want to see the movie. I'm going to see it before everybody else does.
They spent a lot of money on it, so I want to see the special effects in it.
The movie itself costs $5 a head. This particular theater holds 1,600 people, and so far today, many of them are trying to sit through it for a second showing.
If you have tickets already, please join the ticket holders line.
Here in Times Square, there were more than 500 people in line shortly after midnight. As the morning approached, the lines got much longer. By 2 this afternoon, the theater's 25 extra security guards had their hands full.
You're a big fan, obviously, of the
Yes, I
Do you have a job? Did you skip work today, or what?
No, I didn't skip work today.
Just took a little sick day.
Just a little sick day. You know, nobody would notice me.
But the lines at Times Square were not nearly as bizarre as what happened in Los Angeles today. Waiting in line to see Return of the Jedi, a man and woman were married in full Jedi costume. Return of the Jedi is being released today on exactly the same day that the original Star Wars was released 6 years ago. That meant happy birthday for one little boy here in New York.
He's coming back for his 6th birthday now to see it himself. Return of the Jedi.
All right.
So he's a big fan, right?
Return of the Jedi! Return of the Jedi! Return of the Jedi!
Now, even though the mother of that kid went into labor during the, while she was watching the original Star Wars, she and Dad had the good taste not to name him Darth or Luke. But there is a Darth Vader here. Darth, you are an imposing figure by anybody's standards, but even though he's here, we have to have 18 New York cops and 2 sergeants to keep charge. Who are you really?
My name is Danny Fitzpatrick. I've been doing this kind of thing for years.
You're not paid by the theater or anything,
Oh,
right?
hell no. I just do it because I love it.
All right, but there are 18 real police and 2 sergeants, right? Yeah, trying to keep peace in this very utterly chaotic line. 7 performances here at the Low Astor every day. I'm Ed Miller, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, live in Midtown Manhattan. Ernie?
Okay. Science fiction space movies, and now there is a sequel called The Empire Strikes Back. Channel 2 News and Tribune critic Gene Siskel has an exclusive preview. Are you excited about seeing the new Star Wars movie?
Yeah, I like the first one a lot, and I think the second one will be just as good.
I've been waiting all year, and I'm going to be going again. I'll go see it, my kids will go see it, and I'll go with them, and I'll probably sneak in again on my own.
I want to see it bad, but I don't know when it's going to come around the Chicago City.
Your 3-year wait is over, Star Wars fans. The Empire Strikes Back opens nationwide in 2 weeks. Here's the best news of all. The sequel is just as entertaining as the original Star Wars, the most popular movie of all time. All the old characters are back, starting with... You're the first public audience to see these scenes in which young Luke Skywalker, rebel soldier, battles against the evil Empire leader, Lord Darth Vader.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
This duel with lightsabers is one of the film's better special effects. How do they do it? The actors swing at each other with clubs. Then, just like in a cartoon, the laser-like light is drawn right on top of the clubs. The marvelous sound, it's a mixture of two sounds, the hum of an old TV set mixed with the sound of an old movie projector. The new film opens on the icy planet of Hoth, with Darth Vader sending some armored tanks that look like metal elephants to gun down Luke and his friends. These tanks are called walkers, the film's single best special effect. Echo Station Fox 7. This film advances the art of special effects, like in this attack scene, with the animated rockets flying against a white background. Most space movies are filmed against dark backgrounds, which easily conceal wires and sketch lines. It's not a perfect film. Here's a cheap-looking sequence, the movie's Cloud City, an obvious drawing there in the background.
Hello, what have we here?
Welcome, I'm Lando Calrissian. I'm the administrator of this facility.
The film's one new human character is played by Billy D. Williams, the only black man in the movie, cast, it seems, in response to the charge that the first Star Wars film was racist, because its only black image was the evil black-helmeted Darth Vader with a voice by James Earl Jones. Another feature of the new movie, romance, a mushy part. Han Solo likes Princess Leia a lot. She likes him too, but she's stubborn, doesn't want to admit it. Nice acting here by Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher.
Stop that. My hands are dirty.
My hands are dirty too. What are you afraid of?
Afraid?
You're trembling.
I'm not trembling.
You like me because I'm a scoundrel. There aren't enough scoundrels in your life.
I happen to like nice men.
Oh, nice men.
Very nice.
Well, you'll have to wait till... Why are they so popular? There's simply more in them. More action, more gadgets, more characters, more robots, more special effects, and better special effects. So after suffering 3 years of Star Wars rip-offs and imitations, May 21st we get the real McCoy, and it's something rare, a sequel that works. Century Fox, we made a deal. We were going to go to Norway last year for Channel 2 News to film them in Norway, shooting that ice sequence. The production got tough. They wouldn't let us get there. This is the payoff. We got this one instead.
Return to a galaxy far, far away. Return of the Jedi. The next chapter in the continuing Star Wars saga. An epic of heroes, villains, and aliens from 1,000 worlds. Major crap! The quest continues. The circle closes. the saga lives on. Return of the Jedi.
And it's coming Wednesday, and that's the good part, the third Star Wars movie. We've both seen it. I think it's terrific. How about you?
I'll let you know later.
In the show.
Okay, I liked it.
All right, very good. Return of the Jedi, which ties up nicely all the relationships between Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, the robots, Darth Vader, Chewbacca. I can't believe I'm talking about these characters as if they were some kind of personal friends, but I think that's what they've become. Across the aisle for me for this special edition of At the Movies, which we're calling The Secret of Star Wars, Roger Ebert, film critic of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And this is Gene Siskel, film critic of the Chicago Tribune. When the original Star Wars was released 6 years ago in May of 1977, it caught almost everybody off guard. Everybody, that is, except for millions of fans. The movie was not widely previewed for the press. It was only seen by a handful of industry insiders. But somehow the word spread in the science fiction grapevine that this space movie was something special. And on the opening day, even before the first show, there were lines around the block, and those lines went on and on and on until Star Wars became the top box office hit of all time. And that was a position that it held until earlier this year when E.T. finally slipped into first place. Meanwhile, the sequel, The Empire Strikes Back, is also among the all-time movie bestsellers. It's number 3 on the list. And the third Star Wars movie, Return of the Jedi, is expected to do just about as well. Well, why are these 3 movies such a phenomenon? What's the secret of Star Wars? Well, that's the subject of this special edition of At the Movies.
Now, before we get too sophisticated with our answers as to why the Star Wars films have been so successful, let's make some obvious statements. First of all, the films, all 3 of them, are a childlike good time at the movies. They have a strong appeal to the most avid filmgoers around now, young people, who began, you recall, competing with each other to see how many times they could first see that first Star Wars film. Now, as for why the whole series as a whole has been popular, I think quality control is the big answer. Once the first Star Wars film was a hit, the rest of the series was going to depend on how well the second Star Wars film was made. Would it be made with the same cast and crew? Because if everything worked well in The Empire Strikes Back, then Star Wars would become not just the name of a movie, but a brand name that would stand for a certain style and quality of entertainment. And The Empire Strikes Back was that good, as this battle scene demonstrates.
Exo Station Box 7, we're on our way. All right, boys, keep tight now. Luke, I have no approach vector. I'm not set. Steady, Dak. Attack pattern Delta. Go now.
I love those walkers, metal elephants, just great. Now, young people and older people, too, began to think of Star Wars as a brand name, as a guarantee of quality, with the Empire being so good. And for kids, it was like their best toy now, one of a set. They wanted to collect now every one in that set. So credit, of course, the original concept for the secret of Star Wars, but also credit the excellence of that first sequel, The Empire Strikes Back. The lesson here, if you want a hugely successful series, then make sure that that second one is a winner.
I'll give you a couple of other examples. 2 very successful movies, Rocky and Grease.
Yes.
Rocky 2, the same cast, the same creativity, the same energy.
Romantic.
A big hit, and Rocky 3 was a bigger hit.
And it'll go on.
Grease 2, different stars or no stars, terrible songs, lousy direction, no creativity.
Not romantic.
And they didn't even use, they could have used the songs from the first movie, and they didn't. A total flop.
Yeah.
There will never be a Grease 3, at least I certainly hope not.
Me too. How about another one? The Bond series. The longest running series right now. Dr. No was good, but From Russia with Love was better, and that made Goldfinger possible, and then the rest is history. Make the second one a winner.
You're right. The Star Wars movies looked original, they looked brand new, but actually they relied on some very old, tried and true Hollywood traditions. And one of them, this may surprise you, one of them was the Western. When we come back, we'll talk about one of the honorary godfathers of Star Wars, a man named John Wayne.